So as we're saying on our recording, we have recorded over 30 minutes of video from the first half. Cincinnati United is leading the Ohio State Club Football Buckeyes 14 to nothing. They scored a touchdown, then they added 2 points in the first half, or the first quarter. Second quarter, they scored 6 and tried to add an additional 2. It failed, so it's 14 to nothing right now. Let me go ahead and see if I can put this paperwork so that it's not making all that noise. There we go. I think we're better off there. So anyway, the current score is 14 to nothing at the half. The Buckeyes trail Cincinnati United. We've got a stunned group of fans, and we're going to add the second camera because, folks, you will not believe the crowds that we are attracting here at Lincoln Tower Park. It's just absolutely phenomenal, the number of people that have shown up here to support these teams, and it's just telling you that club football is alive and well in the Buckeye State, whether it's Cincinnati or whether it's Columbus, Ohio. It's thriving, and what could be better for us at Campus Nation? Get an eye of this. Look at this. Look at this. It is absolutely incredible. The number of fans that have shown up here for this football contest, club football, what we call intramural. And of course, the Buckeyes have won 2 national championships in the years that Campus Nation has been broadcasting the Buckeyes, so they're no slouches. But I'll tell you what, this Cincinnati United team, who's not affiliated with any particular school, university, or college, just a bunch of guys that love to play football. This is what club football is all about. And the fact is that if you love and you are passionate about a particular sport, there is room for you to play, even if you're not on a D1 roster, or even if you're not in a D2 school, or even if you're not a non-scholarship D3 player. You can play football, you can play, we've done Ohio State hockey, men's and women, you can play baseball, you can play softball, you can play basketball. It's all available at so many of these colleges and universities. And if you don't have a university that's actually sponsoring you, just like this Cincinnati United team, you can go out and you can create your own team and you can sponsor yourself. So, and that's just one half of the equation here. Let me see if I can turn this camera around. I'll pan over here because that's just one half of the number of people. We've got, if you can see through here over at the park, we've got another bunch of people that are sitting in the shade of the restroom building. I forget what they actually call it, but they cook out there. They've got food and things like that to eat. It is one big party, and which also reminds me, folks, as much as we love the support that we get on Campus Nation of Ohio State Buckeyes Club Football, we would love you to come down here to Lincoln Tower Park, even if it's a few-hour drive. Come down and see this action in person. Now, there's one other contest right now that will be back here, and that will be against Wright State. And I didn't bring a schedule with me. The next scheduled event is going to be, I believe, at Ohio Northern University. The Buckeyes, the club football team, is going to be playing the JV of Ohio Northern, the Polar Bears, and that should be this next week. I have yet to be able to get Ohio Northern to give us access, not because they don't want to, it's just that the people that you try to get a hold of are never answering their phones, and they don't return calls. And now, I'm not saying that they're not busy people, because they are, but I go through this at the high school level. I go through this at all levels of sports, and that is some people, you try to get access to a press box, or you try to get access to do a stream, and it's very difficult sometimes. We've been fortunate for the most part of being able to get into the schools and to the locations that we would like to. It doesn't always turn out that way, but at this point we will try to get a hold of the Polar Bears. We've been up there before with Wilmington High School, or no, Wilmington College, when they were in the tournament at Ohio Northern. And just a side note here, strange thing, I get a notice every year from Google. I had taken a picture of their mascot, the polar bear. I don't know whether it's a stuffed polar bear or whatever. It's in the on the basketball court inside. And they tell me every year that that picture continues to get more and more views. I mean, it's insane. It's millions of views that this polar bear that I took the picture of and published to I guess it was to Facebook, continues to grow as far as people looking at it. It's a polar bear, folks. In fact, I don't even know. I guess it's really a polar bear, but it's not probably like, I don't think it's one that was stuffed or anything like that. No polar bears were killed in the process of me generating that picture. But anyway, once again, 14-0 at the half. Our stream is now operating, and in fact, I have not checked. I'm going to go and look at YouTube just to make sure. There is yes, our stream is live. So, folks, tell your friends, tell the people that, and believe me, you're not pests when you call or when you text or whatever. We want to know if we're having difficulties that you're seeing on our end. We do know that we had problems. It all started or originated with Joe Davis, the voice of the Ohio State club football team. Joe Davis, he referees volleyball. And normally he does not schedule any volleyball matches that he referees on days that the Buckeyes play. But Joe Davis is a greedy man. Joe Davis is a capitalist. And so Joe Davis scheduled not one, but I think four games today. And it just so happened that each game ran later and later and later, each match. And so Joe Davis, he said that when he called me, he said, oh, the wind is picking up here dramatically, so I'm going to put this stuff on the, first I'm going to turn this off. I'll turn this off so that maybe I can put this back on here and then turn it back on, because if I don't, knowing me, I'm old, I'll forget. And our pages went down there. But fortunately, I have a second set of pages, so that's not going to be an issue. But the wind has picked up, and we have issues. So anyway, Joe Davis, as we said, started this whole thing off with not appearing on time. So I was ready to fire him. Joe and I have only been doing this for 15 years now, so I guess I've got to give him a little leeway. This is the first time that I recall that he's never made it. And I think I left a message for him. I said, Joe, you're either dead or you're in the hospital or you're fired, which I was kidding, of course. But anyway, Joe and I have done this stuff, all this kinds of stuff. We started doing club football for Ohio State back in 2019. I think that was our first season that we did the Buckeyes. It's been a great association. We have gotten great coverage and great cooperation from Ohio State, and so anyway, I'm gonna go down and get me a drink of water. I'm kind of parched. But this all started with our overheating of the equipment. So now we are in a sheltered area, a shaded area. So from now on, we're going to make sure that when we set up where the sun doesn't shine. So we'll be back in just a moment. This is CampusNation.com, the Internet Sports Authority, the Ohio State Club Football Streaming Giant. Yeah, we're streaming. Yes. Yes. On YouTube. On YouTube. It's up. I checked. All right, all right. We have solved our problems with the heat. We have shown you the incredible crowds that have been accumulating here for this contest today. And I'm sure most of them were in with anticipation that the Buckeyes were going to be leading at halftime. They're not. It's 14-0, Cincinnati United. This is a team that's not affiliated with any college or university or other institution. These are a bunch of guys, as I said, that have just gotten together and said they love football. We want to play. And I don't even know if
I was wondering where they come from.
and I wonder, I don't even know if they are required to go to a certain institution or a college. I think they can just play. And Ohio State has been very creative in the past years in who they play, not because they're trying to avoid anyone, it's because everybody avoids them. And so
They have a hard time finding people to play.
that's right. Last year, many of our games were coming from D1 schools with their JV teams simply because no one else would play the Buckeyes.
Hey, you got to play who you can play.
That's right. You can't be choosing. Well, I mean, it's like Mount Union up north. Mount Union in Ohio, they have won so many national championships. I think it's like 17 or 18.
Wow.
No one wants to play them out of the OAC. They have to. But the other teams, at the beginning of the year, they don't want to play them. So they have to be creative in who they are going to play. Now, I just learned that. I'm trying to think. Now, today, Baldwin Wallace was at Wilmington, and the way it works on Campus Nation, there is a pecking order. Call us prejudice or whatever. The pecking order is that whenever Ohio State's club football team plays, if we are able to bring that game to you, we don't do any other games. So the Wilmington game today with Baldwin Wallace, we chose not to do that game. It's a home game for Wilmington. It's no slight on Wilmington. It's that these Buckeyes mean an awful lot to Campus Nation, and so we are doing this game because we love the Buckeyes. And I didn't even go to Ohio State. No, I graduated from Wright State, and Joe Davis graduated from Wright State, and some of our other broadcasters that have been on our broadcast, they too have graduated from Wright State. And
we traditionally play Wright State.
That's right, and we'll be playing Wright State this year at home here rather than away at Wright State like we have the past couple seasons. I don't see any black and blue marks on any of the Buckeyes, so I don't
Nope.
think they were beaten at halftime or
By their
anything.
coaches? I think they were.
Yeah.
I hope they were, because I hope they get their game together. I mean, I'm not.
Well, we definitely hope that. So Cincinnati United will be kicking off. I wonder if they've got a nickname or some type of a. I know that we've got their logo, but I don't know anything else about whether they've got any kind of a mascot.
Well, that was an interesting one. The kicker took about 3 steps to go kick and then had to stop.
So should we figure out what the mascot's going to be for Cincinnati
Ball's
United?
kicked. All right, ball's kicked off. High Stakes fields the ball at about the 23-yard line. Run up the middle by number 1. Hurdles over a guy, gets the play out to about 41-yard line. 1st and 10.
Maybe
Here we go.
We should call them the Raging Bulls.
Well, I got to tell you, they're speedsters because they definitely have some speed to them. I think some of their speed is the issues that we're having.
Oh, no question about that.
30-yard line, and that's where we'll begin the third quarter.
So I'll have to update the score because obviously we lost it during the.
Yeah, we got still 14-0. No, 4 out of 5 of the offensive linemen are the same guys. Still, Cincinnati United still rushing 3 guys.
Well, they don't have to rush any more than that.
And they're putting a lot of pressure on with those 3 guys. I don't quite understand it.
Well, when you can do it, you do it, right?
I agree.
Makes
Those 3
all the
guys have
sense in
been
the world.
very effective. To their credit, those guys have been very effective. Okay, we got some guys running on the field. What the heck is going on here?
I was waiting for a security guard to tackle them.
No, but they're. Oh. The yard marker guys are flagging.
Oh, well, that would be helpful.
The kid's running the flag.
We've actually played a few snaps. Now we got more coming out.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting their 15 seconds of fame here.
Got a guys running across the field trying to pick up the flag. Yardage markers are down. Yard line's down. Looks like we're ready to play.
We're good to go. Our stream is up. We apologize.
Oh, thank God.
But remember, we'll have as much of the video that we had available from the first half on our website later this evening when I get back to Wilmington, Ohio.
Okay, ball up the middle, run up the middle by J.R. Burton. He gets free. J.R. Burton is free, running 40, 35, 30, 25, down around the 20-yard line.
Great run. That's the Ohio State
J.R.
Buckeyes.
Burton out of Wexford, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I have to say, I think he's actually from Maryland now. I think his parents had moved to Maryland after he graduated high school, if I'm not mistaken. I ran into them at the national championship game last year. Kind of interesting. J.R. played most of the first quarter and didn't see him in the second quarter. Now he's back out there in the third quarter with Pappas. So Burton in the backfield with Pappas. 2 guys out to the right, 2 guys out to the left. Pappas in shotgun. Ball snapped. Pappas back, rolls to his right, throws out to number 8, about the 10-yard line.
He was wide open for the longest time. Almost
got about 8 yards.
Yeah, almost waited a little too long. The defender could have closed, but didn't manage to.
A little soft coverage there. Again, we didn't throw the ball a lot in the first half, so United Cincinnati's a little soft on that defense. Rightly so. Quarterback thing, ball up the middle to J.R. Burton. Looks like he's tackled at about the 6-yard line.
Might have picked up 3.
Oh, there's a flag.
That was in the end zone, wasn't it?
So Zach Davis, our right tackle, that was basically thrown down. He's indicating that
First down?
Penalties against them would be a first down for us if we got down to 6. But according to number 66 for Ohio State, penalty would be on them. Watching the referees,
they don't seem too inclined to move.
No, they set the ball down on the 7-yard line. Referees indicate that the penalty was definitely against United Cincinnati. I think it was denied. Ball on the 7.
You think we declined it?
I think we declined it. We took the first down.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. I'd rather get the first down anyway.
Yeah, we took the first down.
New set of 4s.
Ball on the 7.
And you know you're going to use all 4 of them down here.
Pappas in the backfield with Burton. Shotgun, ball snap. Fake to Burton up the middle, thrown to the right, just a little bit wide.
All right. Tried to lead him, but was just a little bit outside.
Ohio State guy coming up limping.
Results in a third down.
Well, if you didn't lift
guy
so
hurt right now.
Yeah,
Number 9 looks like number 9 is hurt.
Now, do you also go to the away games?
I tried to.
Okay.
Some of them just get a little bit too far.
Joe's pretty obnoxious, though. When you work with Joe, you got to really keep him in his place because he likes to talk. Imagine that. But anyway, if you're interested, hopefully, now I don't know whether Ohio Northern, once again, is close or far or whatever, but if we can get in and do that Polar Bear Buckeye game, you're more than welcome to come up to the booth and work with Joe.
Oh, thanks a lot.
That way I can concentrate.
I
can concentrate on making the stream work all the time and keeping it out of the. Although most of the time, this is the only venue where we're not in a press box. For the most part, we're in press boxes 99.9% of the time. The only other place that I can think of that we weren't in a press box, when we used to play Miami of Ohio, they have a platform, a fairly large one, that is just below the press box, 120 steps up. There's no elevators or anything like that. We were on the outside. They didn't have the press box open for that game. We had to climb 120 steps.
Wow.
These are the lengths. Yeah, these are the lengths that we go to bring club football to the world.
Well, folks, that was the problem I made. I offered to help carry some stuff up this morning, and look at what happened.
I know, that's right.
When you step forward and offer help, sometimes you offer more than you're ready for.
I know. I literally drafted you after you helped me bring some equipment up.
Okay, number 8 is the injured player for Ohio State. Number 8.
It's like they say, the rest is history.
Well, so far they look pretty good. They got the ball down to the 6. So
Jake Whirling checked up on the play.
13-12 remaining in the third quarter of play. In fact, I've got to go see what quarter. I've still got the second quarter on here. I better set this to third. I don't want to confuse
number 8's
anybody.
being helped off the field, but he is walking. It doesn't look like he's favoring any individual leg or anything. So.
All right, let's see if we can push this.
Okay, here we go. Pappas in the backfield, Burton in the backfield. 14 out wide to the right, 1 and 87 wide to the left. Quarterback in the shotgun. Comes up on.
Oh! You think there was some movement? Or were they drawn?
So the quarterback came up from a shotgun, quickly went up to come under center, and when he did so, the right tackle and the left tackle for Ohio State, or I'm sorry, the right tackle.
Yeah.
No, the right tackle.
They moved.
And
they
the
jumped?
right guard for Ohio State also went forward. So it absolutely
5 yards.
5 yards against the Ohio State. But yeah, so the quarterback moved from shotgun, came under center like he was going to do a quarterback sneak, and the entire right side of the offensive line moved as well. And when I say moved, they were 3 yards into the backfield. Okay, quarterback snap, quarterback rolling to the left, a lot of running room, throws the ball, wide open, touchdown to number 1. Number 1, Dan Haley for Ohio State Buckeyes, touchdown.
All right, I assume the Buckeyes will go for 1. No reason to try to do anything different.
That is correct, because number 35, David Rive, their kicker, is on the field. So
and
absolutely.
Rive is very good, so he's very consistent. Now that I've said all this, they'll say, Rick, you hex him.
David Rive in to attempt the point after.
Yeah. It's good. Well, the Buckeyes,
14-7.
They've sliced that lead by Cincinnati United in half. It's now Cincinnati United 14, the Ohio State Buckeye Club Football Team 7. You're listening to CampusNation.com, the Internet Sports Authority.
Cincinnati United 14.
It's an absolute stellar day here in the capital city of Ohio. Columbus is looking great.
Looks like all the rugby matches that were going on the field across from us have now wrapped up.
Were those women or men?
I think it was both.
Yeah, I know that frequently when we're here, I've always seen a girls' rugby team over off to the side to our right, and I don't know whether they're practicing or actually whether they're matches. But
no, it looked like some kind of tournament and stuff that was going on. There was multiple teams over there. I saw the team from Illinois playing Ohio. I'm assuming it was club
yes,
rugby.
It would be club rugby, or clubby as we say.
Here we go. Ohio State kicking off. Nice kick. Kicked out of bounds, flag.
Okay.
Kicked it out of bounds inside the 5, but unfortunately it's out of bounds inside the 5.
So the penalty typically will be placed.
Well, we got an injured Cincinnati United player down here on the 37-yard line rolling on the ground. I'm going to guess he's cramping by the look of.
This is the, if you're going to expect a cramp, this is the type of day when you would see that. And that's why it's always important, which I appreciate you bringing me up the water. It's always important, because I exercise so much going up and down these stairs, it's important that you get the hydration that you need.
Well, just interesting, before the game, the Ohio State team gave one of their water coolers to Cincinnati United, who showed up without any water bottles today. So they gave one of their water coolers to United Cincinnati, and then while I was visiting the refreshment stand, patronizing the club football team, somebody from the United Cincinnati bought like a dozen water bottles, and
a lot of people don't realize that these club football teams, most of anything they get to be able to exist comes from
fundraisers.
That's right, fundraisers, donations, things like that.
Absolutely.
That it's not like there's a big pot of gold that Ohio State University or some of these other universities, just drop in the laps of these club football teams.
Nope.
Which, once again, just says...
Even the equipment. Even the
oh,
equipment.
my gosh. Could you imagine? I don't know what a uniform today costs, but those Buckeye uniforms, I'm sure the helmet alone's probably $600.
$600 to $800 on average for a uniform. Or for a football helmet.
Yeah.
So each of these players out here are paying for, I know, on the Ohio State Buckeye team, each player has to buy their own helmet.
And no, they don't fly by jet anywhere.
No, they don't fly.
And no, they don't.
They don't even fly by. They don't
get a bus. They don't get any of that.
They don't get a van or anything. The players.
They load up in the back of their friend's pickup truck and they scurry off to wherever the next game is.
Absolutely. A few stops at Sheetz along the way.
Right. I just stopped there on the way up and had something to eat.
So United Cincinnati got the ball on about the 35-yard line. Number 14 in the back, quarterback in the shotgun position. Looks like he's changing the play. Ball in the backfield, looking deep. Beautiful throw once again. Oh, collision. Not sure who has the ball.
Says it.
Oh,
they get a call.
Looks like United Cincinnati caught that ball.
Well, the quarterback.
That guy, number 15, caught the ball in the middle of two Ohio State. Three guys collided in the air to catch that ball.
It looked like the quarterback changed up at the line of scrimmage.
He did.
Came up. He noticed, let's say, a soft place in the Ohio State defense. He changed. I am very impressed by this Cincinnati United quarterback. He is very impressive.
I am too. I'm impressed by the offensive line for them too. They're doing very well, holding back. Ball run up the middle. Number 8 run up the middle. Got about 3 yards before he stopped by number 0 from the Ohio State Buckeyes. So it looks like he got about 3 yards right up the middle. 2nd down and 7.
Originally, Ohio State was supposed to play Xavier. Now, Xavier, they're trying desperately to start a club football team in order to eventually get back to football. It probably won't be a scholarship level of football, but still, Xavier has not played football for a long time, and they would like to reintroduce football to their program.
Interesting. Number 14 in shotgun. Ball's taken, looking right, throwing deep, guys wide open, overthrown. Number 2 on the coverage.
And that's not the first time we've seen a Cincinnati United player so wide open.
He was streaking down the right side of that field, and number 2 came over from the safety position and broke up that play.
I don't know whether it's just that we're playing them back or we're playing them soft or whatever we're playing them, but most of these scores by Cincinnati United have been more on these big, long throw touchdown plays. And this quarterback certainly can deliver the ball.
Yep. The line is giving him plenty of time, and boy, does he have an arm. It is effortless. It almost looks like every play Cincinnati United's in the exact same offensive format. 2 guys out to the left, 2 guys out to the right. Quarterback in shotgun. Quarterback again, looking deep, looking to run the ball, throws it out to the left, overthrows. Overthrows number 21, number 28 from Ohio State in coverage. Fourth down.
11:13 remaining in the third quarter of play. Buckeyes trail 7-14 to Cincinnati United. It was all Cincinnati United in the first half. The Buckeyes scored this quarter, and
did you notice a little pep on the Ohio State Buckeyes sidelines so far?
But did you notice on the backside of their uniforms that boot that we saw on all of
It's just a boot print.
Oh, okay.
They must have sat on something.
Might have been.
Yeah, I'm sure that was a heated locker room at halftime.
No, knowing their coach,
No,
I'm absolutely certain.
Not sure what happened.
An adjustment.
United Cincinnati was lined up, and all of a sudden the refs came in, stopped the play, and one player move off the field, and another player come on the field. So, not sure what was going on there. Now Cincinnati United is getting situated in punt coverage. Floated back, punts up, short punt, all by itself. Favorable bounce, bouncing down to the 5. Looks like it'll be down at the 5-yard line.
So the Buckeyes are going to have the work cut out for them. They're going to have to go
95 yards.
95 yards if they're going to have a touchdown.
Yep.
Well, our one coach down there for Ohio State, he's calmed down a little. He was pretty animated in the first half.
That one right there walking on the field?
Yes. Yeah, the one that looks like he should have a hayseed or something sticking out of his mouth. I don't exactly know what that look is. Very stylish, though, and I would never argue with him because he's a big man.
Ball up the middle. Ball up the middle, got about 2 yards. Number 31.
Jonathan Teal, the ball carrier.
I don't know. I still don't understand it. Look, they had some success throwing the ball, but they don't want to throw the ball today. Cincinnati United, looks like there's 4 guys up on the line now. So they switched up to 4 guys rushing.
Through his hands.
Number 14, just right through his hands. He was open. Again, it looks like Ohio State's just shitting themselves in the foot.
They've been out of sync, it looks like, almost the entire day. Some of the crowd that is watching this game, they're up on the Dead Grass Hill. We've had a terrible drought in central and southwest and southeast Ohio.
Well, Pittsburgh's not much different.
Is it brown as well?
Yep.
Yeah.
We haven't had rain in a couple weeks, so the geese over there in the far field seem to like him. Okay. Pap is back under center in the shotgun. Pass out to about the 10-yard line, dropped immediately.
Good defense.
So it's fourth down and 4, 4th down and 5.
Buckeyes will have to punt.
Yep. That went nowhere.
Well, they started at their own 5-yard line, so it's a little difficult usually when you're backed up like that.
Yeah, but the strength of the Ohio State Buckeyes has been their offensive line in the past.
Well, they have in the past, and this is a different team, obviously, with some new players in that, and they're all still trying to get their feet under them, I think, this being the first game of the season for them.
Okay, here comes the punt. Nice punt. Ball lands on about the 40-yard line, gets a nice bounce, hits an Ohio State player down at about the 47-yard line.
Oh, they're at the block O, about the 50-some yard line.
Ball is down at the
Nope. They're going to spot the ball right on the 50.
There you go.
1st and 10. Cincinnati United.
Must be listening to the broadcast. We do have a great perspective here from the second tier of 3 here in the tower. And for those of you that are not familiar with Ohio State or with what we're standing in, it's all metal, so you don't want to be up here if there's a lightning storm. But this is where they do the filming and where the people that train our incredible marching band, the Ohio State Buckeye, greatest damn band in the land. We can say that because it's internet. But anyway, and it's true. This is where they practice. This is their practice field that these Buckeyes are playing on. And up here from our vantage point is the way they help make sure that they do those script Ohios and all their other gyrations on the field.
What an amazing band.
It is amazing.
Okay, here we go. Number 14 in the backfield for Cincinnati United. Ball snapped, dropped straight back, looking deep again. Beautiful throw. Oh, he dropped it. Oh, it was in number 9's hands. Our defensive back, number 28, fell. Number 9 caught the ball and then immediately dropped it when he turned to run. Incomplete pass.
And you've probably noticed maybe some wind sounds where we are. It's been very windy up here today. And we've seen all kinds of weather in this tower from the weeks over the course of a club football season. We've been up here when there's been those little pellets of ice hitting us. And, of course, this is an open metal cage, basically. So we're exposed to wind. We're exposed to rain. We don't normally stand up here in the rain, though.
Okay, quarterback drops back, rolls out to his right, throws down to about the 42-yard line, caught.
There's a reception, and
looks like it's going to be about 3rd down and 2.
Oh, wait a minute. They were.
What?
Well, there was a little bit of altercation.
Ball's on the 41-yard line, 3rd down and 1.
On the Buckeye sideline, and
been a lot of that today.
I know. A lot of testosterone working out there for some reason.
Someone's got to calm some people down.
Uh-huh. Keep it on the field, guys. Oh, even then, don't fight.
Buckeyes got 4 defensive linemen out there. 2 guys in the backfield for Cincinnati United. Ball snapped right up the middle. Number 32 scrambles, caught on the line of scrimmage, no gain. 4th down and 1.
Cincinnati United rush forward for no gain. 4th and 11.
So I get one day off tomorrow. Now, normally I won't even have a Sunday off because the Buckeyes typically play on Sundays. This is the only Saturday game.
Because it's a bye week.
That's right.
It's the only reason they were able to play.
Yeah, and anyway, with the Buckeyes not playing in the shoe, they were able to move this game to Saturday and not have it on Sunday.
Okay, quarterback in shotgun. Number 32 in the backfield. Fake handoff. Quarterback runs to his right.
Tripped him
Dropped
up.
by number 0 on the 44-yard line. Loss on the play. Rittman. Looks like we may have some cramping going on.
Yeah, I agree.
Nope.
They're trying to stretch him out.
They're trying to stretch him out. The players are trying to stretch.
And the trainer's saying, boys, out of the way. This is a job for me.
Yeah, but you had 3 players there stretching his hamstrings out before the
Yeah, but it was his other
trainer
leg.
got there.
It was his other leg.
Well, he's got 2 of them. So it's number 3 that was down on the play, not number 9.
I'm teasing. That's the second time I was trying to get you today.
I know. No, he's walking off the field. Start drinking some water, boys. Get out the pickle juice or yellow mustard.
Okay.
Those are the two things the players use most when cramping: pickle juice and yellow mustard.
I thought it was Ben Gay.
Nope. No, that doesn't help against cramping. You're about showing your age again.
That's true. Yeah, I'm a little bit on the old side.
Okay. Ohio State's got the ball. Burton over the right.
Go.
Over guard.
Oh.
Tackled at the line of scrimmage again.
Looked like he was going to get away, and they quickly shut him down.
Kind of ran over right tackle. Zach Davis is 10 yards in our right offensive tackle is 10 yards in the backfield. Not sure where that was at.
6:15 and counting. 14-7. Cincinnati United lead the Ohio State Club Football Buckeyes. We are in the third quarter of play.
They're stacked the line. Oh!
He says,
You had some huge rush play there. Zach Davis
They all ran
pancaked
past
somebody, ran past Pappas, who took the ball up the middle for about 7 yards.
He says, I can't believe I was this wide open.
There's a lot of Cincinnati. Basically, they probably had 6 guys on the offensive line or on the defensive line there, and blitzed everybody. And basically ran right past the quarterback.
3rd and 3, Ohio State.
The offensive line did a great job and just took the players right past the quarterback on that play. Pappas in the back, shotgun, ball. Jared Burton up the middle for first down, gets the ball down to about the 36-yard line.
Burton's definitely been the workhorse of the Buckeyes today. He's starting to see some rushing yards.
They're definitely rotating those running backs in there.
So what do we got here?
We got 1st and 10, ball in the 36-yard line.
I guess they're trying to keep it moving quickly.
Yep. We're in hurry up. Ball Burton up the middle again, caught in the backfield, gets back maybe to the line of scrimmage, maybe got one.
Yeah, it looks like they're giving him one. 2nd and 9.
Ohio State short gain of 1, 2nd down and 9.
I'd like to see some kind of misdirection play or something like that. It looks like the defensive line is just teeing off on our offensive linemen right now.
Yeah, it would be good to see some kind of trickery or some kind of.
I don't want a trickery. I just need some misdirection play. Something like roll out, wide receiver coming around the backfield or sweep or something like that. Quarterback rolling out to the right, being chased by number 65. Ball thrown into a slew of people. I think he caught it out of bounds.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought he was out of bounds.
So ball intercepted, but he was out of bounds.
He may get a penalty if he's not careful.
No, you got a Cincinnati United guy down on the 20-yard line.
Well, he was upset with the fact that they didn't give him it inbounds, and he threw it up into the air. And typically, a lot of times, you'll get a flag.
Delay of game, but no penalty being called.
Well, that's good.
And again, to me, it looks like cramping again.
I think that's all we've seen. I don't know that we've actually had any real injuries.
Thank God.
Yes.
Let's keep it that way.
Yes. Never want to see that.
Last year, I think we had 3 games ended with the ambulance taking somebody off the field, mostly for concussions. One guy was a broken leg. This may be club football, folks, but there's live hitting out there, and these players are doing giving it everything they can.
No question. And for those of you that are down in the Southwest Ohio area, down near Dayton or Cincinnati or Wilmington, every morning, Monday through Friday, from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., it's Wake Up Wilmington, and we are on for 2 hours of entertainment for interesting people that we interview. Just basic information about what's going on in that part of Ohio. Tune in Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. on the Wilmington Community Broadcasting Network.
We were talking about injuries, and all we've seen down here right in front of us is that injured Ohio State player that got hurt out in the end zone, sitting here on crutches with his pads off. So,
oh, that's not good.
Quarterback out, rolling left. tucks the ball, takes the ball, lowers his shoulder, gets through the first blockers, runs over the next blocker, gets down to about the 25-yard line.
Yeah, he was clearing him out of the way. He was directing his guys to, hey, take that guy out, take this guy out.
Again, never want to see that quarterback lower the shoulder, but he was definitely pumped up and lowered that shoulder and ran over a few guys.
He wasn't going to be denied. That's what it was all about.
Well, we got first down Ohio State Buckeyes, 3:42 left in the third quarter.
He knows that end zone is calling.
Pappas back in the shotgun. Ball snapped, fake handoff.
Straight out.
Quarterback sneak to the right. Pappas down to the 20, tackled on the 20-yard line. Got about 6.
What do we got now? Another cramp.
I think number 9 for Cincinnati United. It's cramping again. I think he's cramping again. He's been down a couple times today.
Where's the mustard?
Well, again, I taught you something today.
What about the pickle juice or whatever?
I taught you something today.
Yeah.
Look it up. It's very effective.
Well, I like pickles. I like mustard.
Can you imagine?
Can you give me some
Looks like we're back up and running. Okay, here we go. Second down, looks like about 4. Pappas hands the ball off to number 7, who runs the ball up the middle. Big hit. Big hit.
Well, if we were going to have problems with our stream or with heat or anything else, it was always better to have that in the first half.
Yeah, number 80 was the big hit on our number 7.
Joe Davis says, "Careful, I'm watching."
We miss him. Look what you got stuck with today. Maybe he can give us the scores of the game.
Yeah, Joe, look up West Virginia and.
I Googled it. It came up high demand event. No, it won't tell me.
Well, we know that.
Okay, fake handoff.
Good slant. Good slant.
Hit immediately by number 80 again.
Looked almost like it was big-time wrestling. It looked like he was pile driving him into the turf there.
17-7. Looks like the score is 17-17 at half.
Who's winning?
He keeps trying to get me, folks.
I know.
He keeps trying to get me.
I have to do those exercises because it's 71 years old. You know, if I don't, my brain gets real crusty and I can't think.
First down, ball on the 10-yard line. There's that in shotgun. Quarterback gets the ball, hands off up the middle to number 7, takes the ball down to about the 5-yard line, upended. Saw the feet go up, ball on the 5. Second down, 5. Looks like the Ohio State Buckeyes are in hurry-up offense.
Well, they're probably trying to punch it in here before the end of this quarter.
Absolutely. 1 minute, 30 seconds left to go. Hand off to number 7, who drags a few players.
He's in.
Touchdown.
14-13.
We're an extra point away from being tied here, folks.
And another whole quarter of play.
Hey, totally different football team out here in this second half. Let's hope it continues.
Absolutely. Well, the Buckeyes definitely listen to their coaches at halftime.
Oh, that's good. You got some fired up players finally. Always fun to see the offensive linemen coming off the field fired up.
I've been very impressed by both these teams today, but Cincinnati United, they've had some bright spots here that really, for this type of a team coming in.
Absolutely. I think it's a great team. My hats are off to them.
Yeah, and I'm assuming.
I welcome them.
I don't know. I'll have to look at the division alignments or the conference alignments as to whether they've taken a place in the same conference, whether this is a conference game or not, because I don't know.
I don't know that answer either.
Because Michigan State, they are not in our conference any longer. To be honest with you, Wright State.
Oh, I didn't know that. They moved out?
Yeah, Wright State is the only school that I can remember from last season that is still in our conference. And like I said, we are playing so many Division I JV teams that it's hard to know if
the
there's
problem
anybody.
is that a loss continues to hurt them. So
Right.
whether they play a team in the division or they not, a loss by any team severely affects their ability to make the playoffs. And as you know, this Ohio State team is used to making the playoffs
Oh,
in this
absolutely.
club football environment.
They have spoiled their fans the way the big Buckeyes
They
have, right?
They have. And I will tell you, if you were at the national championship game last year, there was a lot of heat in those fans, in the stands before that game began. There was a lot of jawing going on by the fans before the players even hit the field.
Fans are passionate.
They were. Okay, Ohio State kicking off, ball kicked deep. Looks like number 6 fields the ball at about 1 yard line, rolls out to his left. Got the ball up to about the 18-yard line, slips and falls on the 20. Tackled by number 15.
Again, that speed, you can see it. That
he was there. He ran up about 10 yards and then made a left and ran about 30 yards to his left before he fell. A lot of mileage on those legs.
Well, fortunately for our fans, I'll bring that picture up behind us. The shade is now encompassing most of what's going on back there.
At least the middle of the field. At least
Right.
the middle of the field.
And the people behind us, they're sitting for the most part in shade. And I don't know what the temperature is, but I would imagine it was supposed to get up to at least 90. I'm sure it's usually 5 degrees warmer than whatever they say. The only thing, the forgiving part is
87 degrees.
Yeah, is the wind.
Okay, number 14 under. Shotgun fields the ball, looks to his left.
Got him!
Oh,
he didn't even see him coming. He did not see him.
No, and he is down.
Yeah,
number 14 is down.
He was hit hard.
Okay, he's getting back up. That's good to see.
He looks like he's grasping his wrist.
Well, he got hit hard.
He was looking the other way, and
number 3 for Ohio State.
Yeah, he just came in and clocked him. Nothing vicious in the sense that he was doing anything illegal.
That's the first time that
good,
defensive
solid
line
hit.
time that defensive line got some penetration.
Right.
It was a clean hit. It was.
So he's up.
What's interesting is
he
was sacked, but the ball's spotted on the 20.5-yard line.
How's that work?
I don't know. Give it to the refs on that one. Okay. Number 14 staying in the game, threw the ball into the right flat.
Losing. The Buckeyes are inspired now.
They are. So you've got Cincinnati United, who caught the ball in the flats, had about 3 guys in front of him, and he started running backwards.
They're saying, where did these guys go? Did they send someone else in at halftime?
That was number 15.
Who are these guys that are in here now?
He's got his helmet off, and they're cleaning his face off. Not sure what's going on. Not sure he has grass in his helmet.
Yeah, it's grass.
AstroTurf field. Maybe some little black pellets, which could be very easily done.
Yeah, and I don't even know if the new turf fields are using those pellets anymore.
I don't know.
I think they were worried about carcinogens or other things as far as that. But this field is not that old. I think it's just a couple seasons old.
Really?
Yeah, they replaced it a couple years ago.
Okay. Quarterback back, rolling to his right. Running the ball, runs the ball out to about the 24-yard line.
Another good hit.
Where he's tackled by, looks like number 39 from the Ohio State Buckeyes.
At their 24-yard line, 4th down.
Looks like 7 seconds left in the third quarter.
Don't we have the best-looking crowd?
We do. I mean,
in
look
football?
at this crowd.
Look at the crowd in
Pretty
football.
quiet today,
Those
though.
guys,
They're
very quiet.
They are very quiet, but I think they're all in shock right now. But this game is turning.
Well, we've tied it up 14.
You're going to see this place get lit up. There we go. They just ran the clock.
And we are ready to go into the final quarter of play with the Buckeyes.
Now we got some clapping going on.
That's
We got the players and the coaches.
They're getting excited.
Getting
They're
the
getting
fans all excited. So good to see. So here we are, fourth quarter, brand new game. All tied at 14-14, folks.
Hang on, Sloopy. That'll get you going.
There we go.
Where is it? Where is it? Come on, let's go. Oh, yeah, they're doing it. Now, if Joe Davis was up here,
would he be dancing? Because you're not going to see me dancing.
Joe would be dancing.
You're not going to see me.
And Joe's got the ugliest legs of anyone, and he keeps telling me at East Clinton, where he played basketball, that he was a phenomenal basketball player. And I said, with legs like that, you couldn't possibly be that great a basketball player, because those are knobby, they're ugly, they're pasty.
Just looked at my watch. It's 5:45. It's been a long game, Rick.
It has. But for me, I can understand why, because I've done these 3 days in a row, and last night didn't get back in until 4 a.m.
Ugh.
I was through Columbus, I don't know, probably at about 3 o'clock on my way back to Wilmington, and I thought I might just stay over here. I didn't, but...
Okay, there's snap ball. Number 11 runs it out to the right, gets the ball out to about the 26-yard line. Gets about a 5-yard gain.
Cincinnati United run, not enough for a first down. Turnover on downs for Ohio State.
Here we go.
At the Cincinnati United 27-yard line, first down.
Now here's another opportunity. So
Yeah, that was-
Cincinnati United turns the ball over on down.
Yeah, but in that position,
It looked like they
why
went to
did
punt. Well, I think that the punter did not get the snap. I think it was a floated snap, and he decided he didn't have time, and he tried to run the ball.
Yeah.
So the Ohio State Buckeyes get the ball on the 26-yard line, 1st and 10.
That could actually be one of the big plays of this
26 yards
game.
away from the goal line. Pappas in the backfield, number 1. J.R. Burton off the right side takes the ball 25-20 around the corner, out of bounds at about the 17-yard line.
J.R. Burton
Looks like he
rambles forward to the Cincinnati United 17 for a Buckeye first down.
Here we go, first down Buckeyes. Wasn't quite sure he got it, but I saw the chains moving. Buckeyes in hurry up again. Pappas shotgun, ball snapped, looking to his left. Little pressure, throws the ball in the end zone. Gets the ball. Ball caught on the 1-yard line.
Yeah, I think he caught it in the end zone, but was pushed out.
Looks like number 1, Jalen Haley, caught that ball. Ball on the 1. Hurry up offense. Pappas under center.
Got a timeout here.
Referee timeout. You got a guy down on the field, so you've got a Cincinnati United guy on the ground.
I think they've had a lot of problems with.
I'm not sure if the coaches called that timeout or if you had an injured player. I'm not quite sure, because you got the coaches came out of the field. They're grouping on the left hash mark, and there's no one still down. So I think the coaches called that timeout. Yes, referee signal timeout was called.
So Cincinnati
by
United.
Cincinnati United.
Right.
That's their first timeout.
Just update.
Probably a good timeout.
Under the
we were in a hurry up.
circumstances,
We were
right.
in a hurry up on the 1-yard line, and it didn't look like they were quite set. So now you got everyone getting set. Offensive lineman down. Quarterback shotgun. Up on center. Quarterback sneak. Quarterback touchdown. Quarterback
took it
sneak. We took it in for a touchdown, folks. The Ohio State Buckeyes finally take the lead with 13:53 left in the fourth quarter.
So who is this princess?
That's my daughter.
Oh, your daughter's princess, and she's talking about.
Her husband says that my new career as a broadcasting is more like a mustard and
she's
pickle
talking.
juice
She's talking about
salesman.
you. I thought you were pointing that at me, and I thought, how did she say that about me? She doesn't
So
even
my
know me.
son-in-law says that my new career as a play-by-player is more of a mustard and pickle juice salesman.
Yeah, and they're going to
they're
laugh.
making fun of
they're
my
going to
mustard.
laugh when you're making like $10 million a year.
So
What's that?
interesting there. We go to kick the extra point, and you've got two defensive backs from Cincinnati United hurdle the offensive line for an offsides.
Let's put it this way. You've done a heck of a better job than Tom Brady did on his debut.
I did not see that. I did not see him play.
Wasn't that great?
No Tony Romo there, right?
No, not Tony.
Okay, so the ball moves up a little bit. We're still going to kick the ball. Ball back, down, up, and good.
But there's a penalty. They ran into the kicker. So that penalty will probably be assessed at the kickoff. 21-14, Buckeyes lead Cincinnati United. Yeah, I'm a Cowboys fan anyway, and I'm sure for...
Sorry to hear that.
I know the people in Pittsburgh, this is like, no. But strangely enough, at my age, I was never a Bengals fan. The Bengals happened way after I was into football. And, of course, the original Browns, they're not even Browns anymore. They're in Baltimore, so kind of gave up on Ohio football and decided I lived in Dallas for a while, and my girlfriend at the time, she was an aerobics instructor, and she was instructing the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
There you go.
So why wouldn't you become a fan of the Cowboys, or at least the cheerleaders, right?
I didn't say I wasn't a fan of the cheerleaders.
Right, exactly. Good point.
I believe their Cowboys are coming to Pittsburgh this year. As a season ticket holder of the Steelers, I look forward to that game.
Oh, okay.
It's usually a rough one. It's a rough crowd. All right, here the Ohio State's kicking the ball off. Ball on the 40. Everyone lined up. Got two players deep for Cincinnati United. Ball up in the air. Going to be fielded about the 1 yard line. Running down the right-hand side, got some room, gets the ball out to about the 20-yard line where he's tackled by a slew. A little bit of pushing, shoving again. Come on, guys. There we go. Field is cleared. Everyone's back in play.
I'm sure you'll be getting offers here in the coming weeks here. You'll, you better get you probably should hire yourself someone to represent you.
Maybe I get some NIL.
Or you could have Princess. She could be your manager.
Absolutely. Not everybody has their daughter listed as Princess on their phone, right?
No, that's true. Mine, I used to call her Pinhead when she was little, but although I've got 3 daughters.
Okay, here we go. Cincinnati United, number 14, shotgun. What a game he's played today. Looks like he's changing the play. Ball snapped. He's rolling to a thing. Ball thrown out. Caught on about the 22-yard line. Number 9. Number 9's had a heck of a game, too.
Really, Cincinnati United has had a heck of a game.
They have.
And they had the Buckeyes back on their heels the first half. Buckeyes came out and got punched in the mouth a couple times, and they were in shock. And until a trip to the locker room at halftime, they were discombobulated. You know, they couldn't tell which end was up, but they've sort of settled down now, and they have that 1 touchdown lead. We'll see if they can maintain that and maybe add to it before the end of this game.
Number 14 backfield. Here we go. Again, looks like he's changing the play. Rolls out to his right, throws the ball effortlessly on a run.
Look at
caught,
that. Look at
caught
that.
on the 45, tackled by number 2. But again, guess who? Number 9. Oh,
Flag on
penalty.
this side. What is it?
I think it's our guys. I think it's a sideline infraction.
I was going to say we've already had one, so
Yep.
the second one's actually a penalty.
Yep, I think it's a sideline infraction.
That's what he's indicating.
Yep.
Sideline penalty on the Buckeyes. They get a little anxious and they are out where they shouldn't be. Play continues on. I guess they're waiting to step off the penalty. That'll be 5 yards?
Yeah, I don't think they've moved the penalty yet.
Well, they probably didn't see the hanky over here. Well, wait a minute. They're waving it off? Oh, no.
No, I don't think the players saw the penalty flag. So the players came up to run a play.
So that's 10 yards. 15 yards?
We have a sideline infraction on the Buckeyes.
That's not a 15-yard
No,
penalty.
it looks like a 10.
Okay, all right. I was going to say they just kept walking. I thought, wait a minute.
That penalty
We're almost to Indianapolis.
down for Cincinnati United.
Ball's on about the 28-yard line.
Ohio State 28.
14 in shotgun. Rolling to his left, sets up the throw, throws the ball up to number 9. Battle, number 9 gets around. Touchdown!
No, he got it.
Touchdown. May have been a little push off, but definitely a touchdown. Defended by number 2. Boy, number 2's had his hands full with number 9
He
from
has.
Cincinnati United today.
So it'll be interesting to see whether they go for 1 or for the tie.
I
or
think
whether
they're going to go for 2.
Well, normally when you're the visiting team, that would be the indication.
If you noticed, Cincinnati United hasn't had a strong kicker. And so I'm guessing.
They haven't even attempted a kick.
Well,
have
but
they?
I'm talking on the kickoffs and
Well,
stuff.
that's
they've
true.
Scored,
You're
so
right. Uh-huh. So that
looks
may
like they got an issue with players on the field right now, figuring out who to get on the field and who not to.
bring the kicker up.
3 guys come on the field late.
So they are going to go
Now
for
you got
2.
1 guy running back off the field.
Cincinnati United is going for 2.
No kidding. Going for 2. Well, if successful, they will take this lead.
So number 3 is sitting in a quarterback, not number 14. He takes the ball and run. You get a flag down, but he's running around being chased. He's going to be short
Yeah.
and not get it, but we do have some laundry on the field, folks.
I would say that's probably a hold.
Try is no good, but there is a penalty on the field.
If you look at the way they were running around,
Yeah.
I would say probably holding.
Which would be good for us.
Yes. Because we'll decline it and it will be no good. No.
Legal shift
Illegal shift.
Well, yeah.
on Cincinnati.
So we'll decline it anyway.
Declined.
Point after is no good.
21-20.
The score,
Good guys, Ohio State.
So the Buckeyes maintain a thread of a lead here, 21-20 on that failed attempt for 2 points.
12:29 left to go.
And you know, that's unfortunate because they're such a fine team in all respects, not having a kicker so that they can actually just kick a simple. In fact, we were at a game last night at up near Cleveland, and it was Mount St. Joe and Hiram College, the Terriers, and they had a young lady that was a senior on the Hiram team.
Yep.
And she made the extra point. It's the first point she scored during her entire college football career, but the crowd went absolutely crazy, and of course she was ecstatic.
We've had a couple of female kickers for the North Allegheny football team outside of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I've seen them many times, but that's the first time I've actually seen them on a field and playing and actually scoring, which is great.
Here comes the kickoff. See, there again. Kickoff's to about 27-yard line. Fielded by number 1, run the ball out. He's out to the 40, down to the 42, being pushed to the 45, down about the 45-yard line.
Yeah, his team was helping him along.
Yep, you got about 5 yards.
Yeah.
to the Ohio State 45-yard line.
Well, we hope all of you are enjoying this broadcast on Campus Nation. We certainly apologize for our early difficulties with our equipment, the iPad. Oh, no, we got another penalty.
That's coming from the ref deep
Cincinnati.
into the Cincinnati United.
Yeah, and he's out on the field, and he's just
obviously
screaming.
something was said. Now the coach is out there. Now you got the coach out there screaming at the ref.
Yeah, which is not good because
No.
that'll involve another flag, or
Yep, not sure what's going on there, folks.
they might have to take you over to the Wexler Center and check you in.
We got a player sitting on the ground, number 8 for
Cramping.
Cincinnati United, cramping as players are helping stretching out the legs. You know, an interesting fact about this club football team that most people don't know. We talk about, a bunch of guys playing high school ball that probably never had a chance to play. Do you know we have 2 guys from this club football team that played last year that were invited to walk on the Ohio State football team this year?
Well, and we had one that actually went to the NFL.
We have one ex, alumni from the club football team at Ohio State. That was it San Diego that
I think
did
so.
he make the team? I don't know, but
he was invited to try out.
He was invited. He was in training camp. So.
Right. And he was
I think
he
you
was a
have another
receiver.
player.
He was a receiver for Ohio State.
And you have another player that I think is now a scout.
And they've not asked me once to do any NFL broadcasting.
I don't understand that. Well, Tom Brady keeps it up. You may have a chance.
Well, that's true. Yeah, or you'll be right behind him. I'll wait for Tony.
Yeah, I'm with you. But again, hats off. There's 2 players that, move up from the club football team and get invite to play for the Ohio State football team roster.
Oh, unsportsmanlike.
I know the players are very proud of those 2 guys.
As well they should be.
Absolutely. That's the quality of players that you have out here, folks.
And I keep telling people because, whenever I am traveling and I do a lot of college football and you talk about, Ohio State and I got to do an Ohio State game and that, and they look at me cross-eyed like, no, wait a minute, you're not doing the Buckeyes. Yes, I'm doing the Buckeyes, but the point is a lot of people don't even realize that there is intramural football.
Never knew it.
And Ohio State has, it's like 70 different intramural programs, absolutely extensive.
Okay, here we go. Buckeyes got the ball down on the 25-yard line. Pap is back in shotgun, takes the snap, hands off to Burton off the right side. Burton down to the 25. Ball tackled, and we've got some laundry on the field. I'm assuming that's a hold.
Yeah.
It looks like it's illegal push by number 31.
I don't know if they play any hockey in the Pittsburgh area, but we've done.
Oh, big hockey. Oh, yeah, a little bit.
Got you again.
You did get me there.
Yeah, we have done Ohio State women's and men's hockey.
I actually know somebody that plays for the club hockey team.
Well, and that is it. They were both the club teams.
Yep.
And, of course, our ladies last year won the national championship. They've actually been in the national championship. I think the final, what do they call it, with the ice or whatever. They've been the last, 4 seasons. And they won it this year, and they won it a couple years back. So two out of the last 4 years.
Okay, here's Pappas under center. Hands off to Burton, up the middle, hit instantly by number 0 from Cincinnati United and dropped at about the 36-yard line.
In fact, Ohio State club sports, I think they've got a synchronized swimming team that has won 17 national championships in synchronized swimming. But if you've ever seen the actual Buckeye Division I, their various dance groups, they're absolutely amazing.
Second down long, you get about second down and 20. Oh, what is going on there? What is that? Oh, that's going to be grounding. I can't believe that ball's not going to grounding. So you got Pappas, who took the snap and was immediately met by 2 defensive linemen from Cincinnati, and the flag is on the field for intentional grounding.
And what's on the field over there?
I don't know. Some looks like a piece of tape or something like that. You've got Pappas, who took the snap, immediately met by 2 players and threw the ball off to his right in the middle of nowhere.
And there was no one even in the vicinity.
Yeah, there was nobody around. So he was inside the hash marks. I'm not even sure if that's a rule, if he could do it outside, but he was absolutely inside.
Well, it'll be a loss of down beside the actual penalty itself.
Yep.
So
that moves that to
intentional grounding. Ohio State.
4th down and 35, folks.
Intentional grounding on Ohio
Well, they go for it.
Ball's on the 50-yard line.
He's on the 50-yard line.
No, you've got to punt this
That's
ball.
just a short little chip
You
shot.
got to punt this ball and put him deep. You're nursing a 1-point lead with 10 minutes and 43 seconds left.
Someone's saying, where is everyone?
Yeah, you got a missing lineman. You have a missing lineman.
Wake up.
I actually think that was the freshman lineman.
No pizza for you after the game. Oh, no, they got to call timeout.
Yep. Yeah, you're still missing. So Ohio State was missing 2 players.
It's so funny. Normally when Joe and I go out to eat, which we do typically after a game, we end up at the same place wherever the Buckeyes are eating.
The Owen Lane?
Well,
that's their hangout. I mean, that's
the Owen Lane
actually has been a big supporter of this.
They
Ohio
were
State
they
club
were a
football
sponsor
team.
for part of our season last year, and also we did a sports show from the O.
Yep.
So
They've been a big supporter.
We'll be talking again this year with them. We haven't really gone out and talked with a lot of advertisers because we're putting together certain packages with our morning show that we do, and then also with the sports, trying to figure out how our packages are going to be. And we dropped 4 games so that I'm not driving to Cleveland 3 times and Pennsylvania 1 time. Although I enjoyed the game in Pennsylvania. And I'll tell you what, Geneva's got a beautiful, beautiful field, beautiful campus. That's the one great thing about us doing sports all over the place. We've been to some of the most interesting places all over about a 5-state area.
Okay. Ohio State punting the ball up in the air. Hits it about the
He picks
27
it.
yards.
Oh, he
fumbled,
loses it.
Fumbled.
And it's recovered.
I don't know about that. So ball was fumbled, caught in the air by a United Cincinnati player, but then he went into the pile juggling that ball.
Play back the instant replay for us. Where's
so
the instant,
I think you got 2 guys that both have the ball lying on the field.
Well, of course, the Buckeyes are indicating the Buckeyes have it.
Yep.
And they've got it.
No.
Looks like
no indication for the refs right now.
I'm surprised they allowed that player to take his helmet off.
I don't think you're allowed. Buckeyes ball. Fumble recovered on the 26-yard line.
A big recovery at the 26-yard line by the Buckeyes, hanging on to the thinnest 1-point lead. And now they've got it on.
You got a lot of coaches shaking their head and rubbing their heads right now. What is going on? Now you got a flag in the middle of the field.
We had a holding penalty on the Buckeyes.
Oh, now you got a holding penalty, so the whole fumble.
It's going to be offset.
No, the fumble. No, you got to replay the down. So now they got to punt again. Wow. I don't know where that flag came from, right?
Well, it came from one of the zebra's pockets.
But, it was not out there before.
Well, no, it wasn't. We were, they did that sleight of hand. They shiny object over here, throw the flag. All right, so we're going to have a redo. Maybe. Now, why are they
we're moving the ball again.
Why are they walking off against?
So it looks like they're assessing the penalty against the Buckeyes for the holding. So it was not offsetting. It looks like our holding penalty offset the fumble.
So the Buckeyes will
punt is
still
going
punt.
at the 40-yard line. We're now back to about 4th and 45-yard line.
And somebody text in and explain what just happened for us, okay? Maybe Princess will. She'll text us.
Be careful.
She's got a big husband.
Okay. Punt up. Ball's back down to the 20-yard line, fielded at the 20.
So the Buckeyes, what are they saying now? They got recovered the ball?
No, they just downed it. They just downed it.
Cincinnati 20.
Got the coach from Ohio State throwing his hat again.
He threw his hat, so
Cincinnati United.
He's got quite the beard, doesn't he? 9:44 remaining in this game, barring any overtime.
Do we have overtime in club football?
I think we do. We may, I don't exactly remember what the rules, and I don't even know that we've ever done an overtime game with the Buckeyes, so I'll be honest with you, I don't know.
So we got 1st and 10, ball in the 20. Number 14 in shotgun. Fields the ball, rolls to his right, tosses it out to number 21. Tackled by almost tackled by, but we got a penalty on the field again.
Imagine that.
Deep in the backfield, deep in the Ohio State backfield. I'm worried about a holding there. United Cincinnati's clapping their hands. I think you may have a hold against the defensive backs of the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Our audience, the Buckeye fans, they're very quiet. They're just,
well, they should be.
They're
right
taking
now.
It all in, wondering what the heck is going on here. We just don't recognize this.
What is going on? Okay, here we go. It's against Ohio State. First down.
Obviously, you can see this dark brown dead grass.
5-yard penalty. Moves the ball up to 25.
Almost looks like we're in the Serengeti.
So we got 2nd and 5.
But I assure you, this is the Ohio State campus.
No. Now we're walking back again.
Illegal substitution, 12 men on the field.
5.
Buckeyes.
12 men on the field by the Buckeyes. Now another penalty. Now the ball's up to the 35-yard line.
Results in a Cincinnati first down.
First down, Cincinnati United.
Oh, we've got a call from an old WLW guy that I know. I think he was rubbing elbows today with Donald Trump Jr. He's probably calling me to fill me in on what's going on.
Okay, here we go. 14 back in the shotgun. What's going on here? We got 2 guys wide out to the left and only 1 defender.
Well, he's the guy you want to hit. He was wide open, too.
Guess who?
Yep.
Big ball out to the 50 to guess who? Number 9.
Yep, they were wide open on both sides of the field.
Number 2 is having a lot of trouble from the Ohio State Buckeyes defending number 9. And I can't believe the coaches have not made a change there or done something.
Well, if they don't have anybody they can put in that would defend them better.
Well, they need to change the defense up because that number 14 to number 9 has been a very successful combination.
Right, and all it takes is one mistake, and they're going to be ahead.
Yep. Number 9, number 9's coming out to the left side. And Ohio State's in man. That number 2 is on him again. Don't understand this, guys. Quarterback's rolling out to his left under a lot of pressure. Throws the ball up.
Almost intercepted.
So number 14 threw the ball out in the middle of nowhere. The only one there was number 24, who had to stop and come back for the ball and not able to make the catch. That would have been a great turnover at this point, folks.
There's one of your more iconic NCAA stadium views there.
Yep, credit that to the defensive line of the Ohio State Buckeyes.
They built it?
No, they built that play.
They used to sleep in the stadium.
Did they really?
In the early days, the Buckeyes, they actually had rooms that this is way back.
The players?
Yes, the players used to sleep in the stadium. I guess Woody wanted to keep them close to where he could whack them.
That's probably a reason.
I actually think it was previous to
second down
Woody,
10. Ball rolled out to the left. He's running himself. Number 14's running. He's out there. He's out there. Got about 9 on the play, folks. Going to be 3rd down and 1. Up, another flag in the backfield.
Imagine that. And it's on the Buckeyes.
Oh, I don't know, but it indicating that's hands to the face, I think.
That's because he went, I don't.
Yeah, but the question is, who had the hands to the face?
Well, we knew it's taken place in the backfield of Cincinnati United, so they probably didn't grab their own masks. Everybody's just got their arms up saying, okay.
Looks like it's against Cincinnati United.
Oh, okay. And the coach was just asking a question, and the referee was kind of rude
5-yard penalty. Personal foul.
Has the face on Cincinnati United. Replay. Second down.
So it's 2nd down and 15. A lot of confusion going on around here.
It's Joe Davis's fault.
I would agree.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
There's the ball. Guess who's I got? Where's number 9?
Giddy.
Okay.
That's
So you
a
have a
good
short
play.
pass out to the flats on the left, immediately hit
Went nowhere.
by number 24 from the Ohio State Buckeyes.
No gain, third down.
No gain.
3rd and 5.
3rd and 15.
Oh, yeah, 15. We've got him way down there.
Take your shoes off.
Mm-hmm. How'd you know?
And again, Cincinnati United's not showing any hurry up or anything. I mean,
They're very
Seven minutes
calm,
to
and
go.
collected.
They are.
Really going up, like I said, I was talking about intimidation, by that structure
I don't
off
think
to
they're
our
intimidated.
left. No, there's no intimidation whatsoever. You sure these guys are not really secretly from the NFL or something?
They're not overly large, but they are fast. What we
All right.
got?
Stop a play.
Timeout. Second timeout by Cincinnati United. Second timeout of the half.
And a timeout. Cincinnati United.
6:52 left. Watching that clock, folks.
So with the score 21-20, Buckeyes are in the lead, but Cincinnati United is driving. This week on Campus Nation, you'll have to check our website because I've not posted any new events that we've got this week, but I think we've got on Thursday at Miami Trace, we probably have a Lady Panthers volleyball match. Lady Panthers are now 10-0. They have not lost a single game all season. They just beat a number 15 team in the state of Ohio, Hillsboro, and they're ranked, they were ranked number 21. I imagine they might move up a little. They're in Division 4. The other team, they're in Division 3. The other team was Division 4. But they are off to a great start in their league. And then this weekend, I'm trying to think if we've got anything on Saturday because the Buckeye game is, we're traveling to, we may have a Wilmington College game this Saturday. I'll have to look on our schedule and see. But on Sunday, I know if we can get in, we will be at Ohio Northern in Ada, Ohio for these Buckeye Club football guys going to the Polar Bears. They'll be playing their JV.
Okay, here we go. Number 14 back. Number 9 out to the far right. Looking to the left. Ball thrown up in the air. Way overthrown. Way overthrown.
Yeah, that was.
Looks like the ball's turned over on down.
Fourth down. And about 15 to go.
Oh, I lied. I'm sorry, folks. It's 4th down and 15. Trying to figure out what Cincinnati United's doing.
I don't think they even.
I don't think they've made a punt all day, have they? I think they've gone for it every time.
I don't think they've got a punter. I mean, if you look at the kicking game, they have no kicking game. That if they had a kicking game, this team would probably have the lead. Because being forced to go for 2 points all the time, and they've only made.
No, they do have a punter. They've made some punts, and they've had that fake punt that ran back. Successful fake punt.
Yeah. Okay.
So you've got the punter back there right now. They better be ready for another fake punt.
There he is. Let's see what he does.
Punts up, and it's a good punt. Ball hits down to about the 15, rolling to the 13, down on the 13 by number 21.
You notice the Buckeyes didn't have anyone back.
They didn't even try. They let it go. They let it go. Not sure I saw a big rush. I think they just let it go. They didn't care where their field position is. Well, folks, let's hope for a long offensive run here and run this clock out. But it's still anyone's ball game.
It may not look like it. Maybe I need to turn the camera, but we have not, to my knowledge, we haven't lost any of these fans.
Oh, absolutely not.
They are still here in force.
But in shock.
Yes, supporting their Buckeye football team.
Maybe they're all waiting for those little buggies driving around delivering food.
Yeah, you've seen those?
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
There's two off to our left
campus,
right now.
All over campus.
Okay, you get the ball run up the middle. Ball run out to almost a first down. Ball run up the middle by number 7.
Yeah, I don't know how many college
First down.
campuses have those, but
a lot.
In Columbus, all these little food delivery vehicles that are autonomous, they're programmed and they just go around campus and they deliver food to people.
Purdue is the first school that I saw them at. Look at all the people in the tennis courts over there.
24.
Well, they must be having a tournament of some type.
No, it looks like there's a picnic going on. Okay, number 7 run up the middle for about 3 yards.
They
gets
didn't
up to
invite
the 27-yard line.
Is that tennis or pickleball?
It's probably pickleball.
Yeah. It looks like pickleball, to be
I
honest
think it's
with you.
pickleball.
Yeah. Because all the people are old.
Not here. Only us.
You're not old.
Old enough. Can't really see, folks. A fence around the court. Okay, here we go. Second down and about 7. Pappas in the backfield. 31 in motion. Ball snapped up the middle. Run up the middle. Number 7 takes the ball out to about the 36-yard line for a first down.
Good pickup.
Running over a few people there.
Looks like we have, I can't tell whether those are young kids or whether those are college kids across the way. We've got some soccer practice or
the wind's kicked up. I don't think there's wind down on the field. I think it's only up here with us.
It's possible, but we're up, 2 stories at this level, 3 stories if we go up a level.
Okay, here we go. Quarterback in shotgun. Moves the running back from behind him. Number 7 in the backfield. Hand to number 7 up the middle. Hit immediately for about 1 yard, maybe 1.5. Looks like we have about second down and 8.
When I first saw the Cincinnati United uniforms, I kind of thought, are those Bearcats? Is it UC or is it? Because they're not quite
good
like
looking.
Yeah, they are. They're not quite like a Miami color as far as the red, but
no, it's a dark red with black letter.
It could be a Bearcat kind of takeoff there for the Cincinnati United.
Okay, Ohio State gets set. Pappas in shotgun again. Looks like J.R. Burton in the backfield. Fake to him. Quarterback keeper around the right side. Pappas runs out and dives to about the 42, 43-yard line.
Nice little pickup there. Looks like a third and what, 4?
Yep. Long 3, short 4. Yep. I think this first down is very important, folks. This is a very important first down. Ball snap the quarterback. Hand it off to J.R. Burton off the left side. Runs around for first down. There he goes. He's 40. He's out of bounds. Down to the 40-yard line, out of bounds right. 49, 39-yard line. First down. Oh, and we have some laundry on the field again.
Imagine that.
Shocking. And the Ohio State Buckeyes are walking back.
I got a deal for you.
Oh, geez, here we go.
At the end of the game, we usually invite the coach up to talk to us. How would you like to do your first interview? Greg will be happy to come up and talk with you.
I'm not sure. We better go beep, 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 beep.
Well, that's true, but this is the internet. So I'll snag him at the end of the game here, and he'll come up and talk to you, and you can ask him all those compelling questions that you've been dying.
I may be running out here. I got a 3-hour ride ahead of me tonight. Luckily, I dropped off all the food at my son's house when I got here this morning.
With these, care packages that you bring in?
Yeah, that's all they ever want is food. Mom, You know, Mom sends his little boy some food. You don't want him to get skinny or anything.
Get that. Mom.
Timeout, Ohio State.
Mom sends the packages for the little boy, yeah.
Absolutely.
Dad has nothing to do with any of that.
No, Dad's in charge of putting money in his bank account.
They ask for money?
I asked him the other day if he needed quarters. He looked at me with this really strange look on his face, like, why would I need quarters?
Do they have laundry facilities in the...
They don't need quarters anymore for those things.
They're just cards. Everything's on a card.
Totally different world out there.
That's for sure. I don't even want to tell you. When I went to college...
They were dimes, probably.
You're a funny guy. Well, first of all, they were quarters instead of semesters. Ha, ha, ha.
Oh, geez, there you go.
So that was different. I carried 19 credit hours.
Did your laundry on a board?
Yeah, no, I went down to the river and scraped it against a stone just outside the log cabin.
Yabba dabba doo. Okay, here we go. We got 3rd and 9 now. Ohio State's on the 36-yard line. Quarterback rolling out to his right. Look at the pass, deep. Look, they're going to throw the ball deep. It looks like it's short. Oh! Almost caught, but knocked away by number 25.
Good play.
31 could not hold on to that play.
The Donovan is incomplete.
Looks like Ohio State's going to punt with 2 minutes and 14 seconds left in this game. Boy, this seems like a long game.
It does. I don't know. I don't know why it seems so much longer, because normally it should be a piece of cake and go real quick without Joe Davis being here.
We're at 3 hours right now.
Yeah, that is unusual. And there was no series of interruptions because of injuries or anything else. Must have been that water. What was in that water you gave me?
I think we're going to blame the student down there walking around with a clicker to work on the scoreboard. Down there in red, black and white.
Is that
stripes.
why we can't get the right score on the scoreboard?
I'm going to guess. Look at a nice punt. Ball lands, gets a nice Ohio State bounce. Ball's going to be touchdown at about the 26-yard line, down at about the 24.
Ohio State lets it roll down.
Yep. Ball's going to be marked on the 26.
Dave, I'll call you back a little later tonight. We're live on the air in Columbus on the Buckeyes club game here. And Joe Davis tells me the cameraman is terrible. You know what you can do, Joe Davis? Catchy tune.
Two minutes, 1 second left. Ball spotted on the 26-yard line. Long field in front of Cincinnati United. Number 21 out here to the left. Number 14 back in the shotgun. Looks like he's wide out. Oh, good pressure by Ohio State.
Great
Tackles
pressure.
him down on the 21-yard line.
Needed that.
5-yard loss. Absolutely. We got no two-minute timeout here in club football, right?
No.
Clock keeps moving.
We have that now in high school in Ohio. We have a 2-minute timeout, and we do in college now here all throughout the state, most of the leagues.
Cincinnati United, clock's down at 1:30. They are not in a hurry, folks, at all.
Well, check those outside.
But again, someone better put double coverage on number 9.
Yeah,
he has hurt the Ohio State Buckeyes severely today.
He could end that.
I do not see number 9 on the field right now, though.
Well, maybe he's hurt.
Okay, number 14's back. He's under some pressure. Sacked.
Got him again.
And he's sacked on the 16-yard line.
Another loss of about
17-yard line.
4.
Yep.
They're going the wrong direction.
Clock continued to run. Under a minute, and clock's still running. As far as I know, Cincinnati still has one. Cincinnati United, sorry guys, still has one timeout remaining. Clock down to 45 seconds.
Just took it.
Just took the last timeout. 43 seconds
And
left.
this is absolutely a moral victory for Cincinnati United, if not a victory.
And Ohio, I think it's a great win for the Ohio State Buckeyes in the sense that they got some work to do ahead of them this week.
Well, that's true. they'll have a lot that they can work on. And of course, with club football, and you well know this, having a son playing it, it's not like they have regular practices every day or two-a-days or any of that kind of stuff.
No, not at all.
So
they practice anywhere from, look, you get a ball in the field, you get a soccer ball in the field from next door. So they practice anywhere from like 6 o'clock at night to sometimes their practices don't start until 10 or 11 o'clock at night because that's the only time they can get the field.
Plus, they also, they have to share the field with the band.
They practice on this field, so
that's right.
They have to fight. There are times that they don't have practice till 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I'm in bed. Sorry, Coach, I can't come to practice. I got to go to bed.
When I get up at 4 o'clock to do the morning show, I'm in bed usually by 10. If not, I pay for it the next day.
Yep. Okay. Cincinnati United comes back on the field. No urgency. I'm a little surprised here.
I think
But somebody better be beat down, deep.
Well, they got 43 seconds. That's a few long throws.
Look, you got number 9 out here to their left, our right.
Keep an eye on him.
Yep. And he's knowing somebody different. He's going up. That was number 3 across the middle. Oh, intercepted! Number 2, intercepted. Boy, that's a great play. Number 2's had a tough game today, folks, but he makes a clinching interception at the 35-yard line, and this game is over. This game is over. Finally, you're seeing some emotion by the sidelines of the Ohio State Buckeyes. But, boy, they got some work cut out for them, and it's a good win. Hey, a win's a win. There's no pitchers on the scorecard.
Well, and I think they probably wanted to keep it a little quiet until they were sure that they'd actually clinched a victory here.
Hey.
Like I said, I know that at halftime they were probably
they
feeling
were a little
some heat.
worried. Yeah, they were a little worried. Still quiet stands behind us, but doesn't look like anybody's left.
Victory formation. They take a knee.
This game is over.
Clock is running. I think they'll only have maybe one.
Nope.
No,
Game over.
They're going to let him go.
Ohio State downs the ball.
Well, Rick, I thank you for this opportunity.
Well, you're more than welcome.
A little nervous going into it, but I think
you're always welcome anytime in our booth, or if we're in a press box. So we're going to try to do all the Buckeye away games other than the one to Milwaukee. And that's
I'm trying to get to the Milwaukee game.
Yeah, well, the Milwaukee game, we've got another. We had another game that we were going to do. I'll have to look at the schedule, but I
told my wife, it's only 45 minutes away from Whistling Straits, and I played there last year, and I want to go back. I told her she could walk it with me because it's walking only.
Right.
And what a great course.
Avid golf.
What a great course. Every time you look around, there's a sand trap. I think there's over 2,000 sand traps on the course.
Joe Davis is the sand in my swimsuit.
Ooh. Ooh, sorry to hear that.
You heard that, Davis.
Oh, man. I think you're going to have a conversation next week.
Well, it's a good thing I'm not working for ESPN.
So here's a plug. So Princess is hearing impaired. And her response is Campus Nation needs to have caption option to their live stream.
We actually do, but I must not have turned it on when I redid the stream.
So Princess, it is Rick's fault.
But no, that is a good point. Our morning show.
It is Rick's fault.
Yeah, we've got caption on all our other shows. Our morning show has it. No, because we ended up with the overheating problem in that, we probably didn't because it's a process you have to set.
My daughter's looking for it.
But no, we appreciate that, and we will get that done for Princess.
Just for you.
That's right. Well, the final score, 21-20. The Buckeyes don't dominate, but they do prevail. And I'll try see if I can get we're going to sing Carmen Sandiego here.
San Diego.
Buckeyes in the background. They're standing up as well.
Yep.
Where in the world did he go, Carmen Sandiego?
No idea. Trying to get me again.
Uh-huh. Ohio.
What a great game.
Coach is going to impart some wisdom. Going to tell them about the next game, which will be at Ohio Northern in Ada,
Where
Ohio.
is Ohio Northern?
It's
From
up
here.
Interstate 75.
Okay.
Probably closer, much closer to Toledo than it is Dayton, as an example, on that side of the
So
state.
from here,
on
is
the
it
west side of
northeast
the
or
state.
is it northwest?
It's northwest.
West.
Right.
So it's a little bit longer. So it's,
Yeah, it's on the road from Dayton, Ohio, up to Toledo. I went there as a junior, going into my senior year of high school. It's a great pharmacy school, but I went there for a journalism conference, no, it wasn't a journalism. This was a student council conference.
it's like a 2 o'clock game next week.
Yeah, and
Oh, I will not be there because the Steelers play at home that day.
the who?
The Steelers.
Oh,
Come on. You Cincinnati.
I'm not a Cincinnati fan.
I know, Dallas.
I get all my.
We have a home game against the Chargers that day, so I will be at the stadium for a 1 o'clock game and not able to make
Well, good luck. Good luck to our Steelers. A lot of the fans are still staying. Well, they probably have some people they're taking home. And thank you very much. I appreciate you helping me with the equipment, and you did an excellent job. You got a career after your career.
My daughter said I'm going to be fired for calling a lady captain.
Well, Princess and your family can be proud. And I'll try to get the coach up here in a minute or two. He's just finishing up with the Buckeyes, and he usually likes to come up, and I'm sure he may have something to say. But anyway, thanks again. Have a safe trip home. See if I can get Coach's attention.
Either one. You want me looking right at the camera there then? Can you hear me?
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Great win.
Thank you.
Win.
Thank you.
We were on pins and needles up here.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you were down there.
Absolutely.
And I know you can't tell me anything that went on at halftime. But we did see some boot marks on the back of the guys when they came back out. So you probably had to read the riot act to them, I guess.
You know, that was probably the most fired up I've been at halftime since I've been the head coach. I've been the head coach here since 2018, and that's probably the most fired up I've ever been at halftime since I've been head coach. I don't think we've ever been shut out in the first half since I've been the head coach. So
that was a first.
And as the offensive guy, you know, that's tough. So, you know, I was really proud of the way our guys responded, though. I mean,
they did.
That might be the worst half, the first half, the worst half of football we've played in my time here. Just mental mistakes, penalties, everything. But the way they came out in the second half, scored on the first drive offensively, gave us a boost, and then the defense was able to seal it there at the end. So there's a lot to work on, but really proud of the way our guys finished.
So what did you think of that Cincinnati United team? I was talking to them before the whole thing started, and they're not really affiliated with any particular university or college or anything like that. So it's just a bunch of guys that get together and say, hey, we're going to...
So, yeah, it's a prep program, so it's a lot of guys who are in community colleges or trade schools in the area, guys who didn't get recruited or didn't have the grades to get into certain universities. Trying to go get their grades up at, you know, like I said, community colleges, wherever, and get film to hopefully go play somewhere else. So
sort of like a hawking or something like that, where they go to play just to move up to the next level.
Yeah, and that's what it is. And these prep programs, I think, are really important when they're run the right way. And I think Coach Ward, you know, he's got a great team over there. I mean, they are feisty. They are really talented, and you know, Coach had a great game plan. Look, I mean, if anybody's watched us on film before, they know offensively we like to go fast and get the tempo going, and they slowed the game down.
They did.
You know, they were snapping the ball with 1 second left on the play clock just about every time, and I think it burned them in the end when they needed to go score to win the game, and they didn't have a hurry up. But I mean, the game plan they had was fantastic, and I mean, it was hard for us to scout them because it's their first game, so there's no film, no roster, no nothing on them. But you know, for our guys to go into a game blind like that, you know, that's never happened before. We've never gone into a game without any film or roster or anything. For us to go into the game blind and come out with a win, it's good. Anytime you come out with a win, it's good and you want to celebrate.
And you know what you have to work on. So,
yeah.
You know, now next week you're at Ohio Northern.
We're at Ohio Northern next Sunday.
We've not been able to get a response from them yet.
Okay.
We've tried calling, but I'll continue this week. I'm sure they'll let us come up and do that game. But
sure.
Well, so anything in particular? What about the secondary?
Secondary needs work. We need to get better in the secondary. There were a lot of jump balls that should have been intercepted. Now, you know, it's hard when they're throwing jump balls and you're in a zone coverage and they're just kind of throwing it up for grabs.
Right.
But yeah, we got to get better. Our ball skills were not where they need to be. I know it's only week 1, but I mean, we've got a long way to go.
Well, Burton still looked like he was working on his game there and coming along.
Yeah, I mean, our offensive line, we made some changes at halftime that I think benefited us, and we changed a few things up offensively that we were able to get a little more push. And I think, you know, when it's a hot day like this, you know, you can kind of wear guys down. And thankfully, I think we were the team that wore them down up front in the third quarter especially, and then, you know, kind of hung on there at the end in the fourth to get the win. So, yeah, not pretty. We have a lot to work on. But like I told our guys,
it was an ugly win, right?
It was an ugly win.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to win ugly. And the one thing that I hope we can take from this is, A, we got a lot to work on, and B, you know, as we get in later into the season, we know what we're made of when the game gets tight. You know, last year we didn't have a lot of tight games up until the national championship game, and we got punched in the mouth. We were down 14-0 in that game last year, and I don't know if we knew how to respond. So, you know, we got punched in the mouth today. We're down 14-0 at halftime, and we swung back. And I'm thankful that our guys were able to get the win, but like I said, a lot to work on.
Yeah, the other thing that I will compliment Ohio State on is you have an incredible fan following
Yeah.
that you are developing.
Yes.
These people that were out here today on the dead grass.
Very dead grass. Yeah.
Just a huge crowd, and then over eating barbecue or
Yep.
whatever they're eating over there. I've never seen the crowd this big.
Yeah,
it was a beautiful day for that, but the support is incredible.
It is, and this is probably one of the bigger rosters we've had. So, you know, it's good to have the families come out. I think Ohio State being on a bye helps us as well. You know, people wanted to come see football on campus, and we can provide that. So, yeah, no, I can't say enough about the fans, and we had a great turnout, like you said, and you know, we got to get better. But the fans, I think, helped us there in the fourth quarter kind of get over the hump, and we're grateful for them.
Well, congrats.
Thank you so much.
And we certainly appreciate you. So
absolutely.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Well, that's it. We've got a win, 21-20. Ohio State. The Buckeyes defeat the Cincinnati United club team. It was a nail-biter all game, but the Buckeyes did prevail, and as Coach said, the important thing is whether you win pretty or you win ugly, that you win, and that's what happened today. A lot to work on, but at the same time, a lot of satisfaction in knowing when the chips are down, you know, you've got players that are going to fight to the finish to make things happen here. So once again, Rick Phillips for Campus Nation. Stay tuned to our website for what's coming up. We apologize for the problems we had earlier. We will post as much video from the first half that we have. There really was not a lot of game highlights for the Buckeyes, but we'll post it, and then we will attempt to add that to the second half, which streamed perfectly the second half on YouTube. Again, the score, Ohio State Club Football 21, Cincinnati